This video is a step-by-step teaching on how I made that dress. I was actually teaching my student and I had to record it. So even if you are just learning, you'll be able to grasp what I'm doing here. So I would encourage you to watch it to the end. You'll be able to grasp one or two things, okay?
Okay, so this is 18.5. We have the off shoulder is 5 inches, but we're still going to go down, take it down later. But for now, this is 5 inches and this is 18.5. So I'm going to reduce it to the below belly button, like way below belly button. So I'm going to go all the way to 24 so that when we are shaping it out, it won't get short. Okay, so this is 23. It's pretty long, yeah. This is 23. This is a whole lot. Let me take this here and then very important for you to know how to manage your fabric well to avoid wastage. This is how to manage your fabric. It's easier to manage your fabric when you are using a pattern. So this my pattern does not have any allowance. I'm just going to give space for allowance right now, 1/2 inch. This is my allowance space. Okay, this is 1/2 inch. So with my ruler, I will draw it straight down. Extend it and then draw out the bust. So we trim it out like this. Gently trim it out. So next we cut out the side. Remember 23, full length 23. Okay, so we measure 23. This is 23. Exactly. Add your extra allowances if there is need for that. After trimming it out, okay, you put your stay, soft stay. This soft paper stay. Okay. And the next thing we'll do is to cut out the back. Bust is 38, so we have 9.5. Then 1.5 inch, 11. That's 1.5 for zip. Then we have 1 inch for that, and then the last one, 1 inch for sewing allowance. So get your measurement, and then so that will be your basis for this particular measurement. The back is not as long as the front, so we have remember it's off shoulder, and the other part we are going to be attaching it. Yeah, that is 19. Off shoulder 6. First of all, draw the deep allowance, which is 1.5. 28, that's 7 plus 2 inches. Let me say 2.5 inches. Because it's lace and we're going to be turning it. Then bust 9.5 plus 2.5 inches. That is 2 inches. So this is where the armhole will be. But we'll not put it now. We'll put it after sewing. After joining the lace with this, that will be the armhole. So this is to avoid bulging at the back. So this you did for the front, you'll be doing for the back. We're going to add stay. But I don't think there is no need for stay on this.
So for us to get measurements for the bust, yeah, you go like this. You know, we already have this under bust. Okay, and we take, then you get your mid front point, which is the center front. From your for the under bust, we're using 3 inches as a that. Bust point to bust point, we're using 4 inches. Bust point to bust point, 4 inches. Under bust, 3 inches for a size 8. But you can also use a bust point to bust point, 3 3/4, which will give you 7.5 inches instead of 7. Okay, so let's measure it. 3 inches, 3 inches. Okay. Come up. Under bust is for what we are working with. Under bust is 13. Okay, so this is what the measurement looks like. 13. Come up. Your bust point is 10 inches. 10 on bust point, 10 inches. Mark it out. 13. This is under bust, right? Come up. So another way to get it is under bust. Under bust from bust point to under bust is 3 inches. Is usually 3 inches. For like size 40, for bust 44, it should be 4 inches. Um, bust point to bust point. So I'll use 3 3/4 instead of 4 inches. I'll use 3 3/4 because the bust is just 37. 3 3/4. All right, so as NEPA has done their own, let's just continue. 3 inches. 3 inches. 3 inches. 3 inches. So you connect the straight lines. Connect the straight lines together. We're going to make both arc 3.5, or we can make it 3.2 inches. 3.2. 3.2. So it doesn't get wide. It will not be too wide. Okay, so we connect it like this. Okay, so you can use your French cuff to do it, or you can use your free hand. You can see that the French cuff is working very well for it. So we're going to place this on this, and then we'll sew on top like this. We'll sew on top like this. On this other side, we'll place this also. We'll place this also, and then we'll sew on this like this. So when you are done sewing, this is what you will get. You notch, okay. Good. I will notch and then I will trim. I want to trim this to 1/2 inch so it remains 1/2 inch. And press it until it is very flat and smooth. Press all of this out. Use your ball or your breast cup ironing board. Use it to iron this out. Okay. So once you are done ironing it out, we want to give that shape. I need to quickly give that shape now before proceeding. Okay. Make sure you iron it out first, but because we don't have light in Nigeria, I'll proceed. So your under bust is 13. Is this even? Under bust is 13. And then our half length is 16.5. Okay. And the nape, our waistline, which is 16. And then we are going to add extra 1/2 inch for joining. extra one, let me say extra 1 inch for all the paparazzi because there will be a lot of trimming and stuff like that. So your waistline is 28 divided by 2 divided by 4, that's 7, plus 2 inches allowance, 9 inches. Okay, 9 inches. Good. The bust is 30 what? 37. So that's a 9.2 inches, like this. So we have 2 inches sewing allowance that we're adding now. That will give us 11.2. I'll give us 11.2. Okay, good. Let me quickly state this. All measurements for these things start from your under bust. So we have 23. Can see this is a lot of excess. 23. Then 1 inch allowance for all the paparazzi we'll be doing later. Let's quickly get our bust point in short. 13. This is our bust point. 10. The depth of the neck we are working with 7. 7. 7. When you are taking this measurement, you work from here. 7 inches. Okay. Then 1 inch allowance for manipulation. What the manipulation will be doing. Okay. So we go like this. Okay. Go like this. Then we shape this out as a triangle. This is what we have. You see, by the time we iron this out now, you see that the dust will come up very, very well. So this is the shape we are looking for. See? Go like this. Go like this. Alright.
So we want to work on the adjoining part. That's the shoulder. The shoulder part. As this part. This part now that is there. This part that's there. So we want to work on this part. Let's bring it out. All we need is the shoulder and the bust measurement, shoulder, bust, and neckline. Okay, so let's start. We have this line. We have this line. This is the starting line. Okay, and then let's get our vertical measurement. We have our shoulder slope 1 inch. From your shoulder slope, come down by what? 7.5. We are working with size 8. Size 8, 7.5. We have our shoulder, which is what? For 15 inches. 15 divided by 2 is 7.5. Then we add half-inch allowance for easy manipulation. Then neckline, we have 3 inches, 3 inches for the neckline, horizontal. Then vertical, we have 7 inches, 7 inches. But we also have, we can also go down by extra half-inch, that's 7.5. Okay. So we have the bust. Our bust is what? 38. Remember, we have 9.5 plus 2.5 inches allowance, which will give us 11.5. 11, 12. 1, 2, which will give us 12 inches. Okay. So the next thing to do is to what? Draw out your shoulder armhole. Let's draw out our armhole. You can use your armhole curve if you cannot do freehand like this. Use your armhole curve. I'm sure by now you already know how to work with your armhole curve. And next thing we are going to draw out what? The shape of our neckline. Okay. So from these 7 inches, we come up from these 7 inches, we will a vertical line. And then we will come up by 2 inches. Come up by 2 inches. Okay. So this will be the basis of our neckline measurement. From here, from the horizontal neckline, draw a conjoining line to the 2 inches. That's your bust arc. Okay. And then from the neck depth, draw a sweetheart shape. So this is what it will give you. Okay. We need we need half-inch allowance here. Half-inch for easy manipulation of whatever you want to do. And for joining. So we'll come up by half an inch. Come up by half an inch. And then you come up by what? Half an inch. They will come to meet each other. So this is for easy manipulation. Then we're going to trim this out. Let me just add, you don't need this part though. You don't need this part. From the top of the neck, that's the depth of the neck, is 7.5. Okay. From the nape of your neck, the width of your neck is what, 3 inches, which is here. Then this part, remember you came up from this 7 inches up here is what, 2 inches. This is 2 inches, 2 inches. Okay. That means here gives us 5 inches. And then remember your shoulder slope. We came up by half an inch. Remember we came up by half an inch, and then we came up from the real one, from the real shoulder slope. We came up by half an inch also. So this gives us 1 inch for the shoulder slope. This is what you are supposed to be getting when you are done. This is what you are supposed to be. This part is the shoulder part up. I hope it is understandable. So I'm going to trim it out. We already left all the allowance that is needed.
This is basically the most difficult part of the dress. So next thing to do after cutting out this sweetheart neck, you proceed to join in the shoulder just like we've done in the pattern. Okay. Somehow along the line, I think I lost the video of joining the neck, of joining the shoulder together, but it's basically very easy. Turn it over with the lining, and this is what you'll get.
We are about to do the lower part. Fold your fabric into 4 parts. This is 2, and then we fold again, leaving a 1.5 inches, 1.5 or 2 inches zip allowance, which is this here. Okay, so I like to leave 1/3. This right here is 1.5, so I'm going to leave it as 1.5. 1.5 is good also. Okay, so we get all our measurements. The waist is 28. Waist is 28. 28. Hip is 38. So like I said, we're going to use the biggest part for the grading. So let's start. Waist, this is our waist. I'll leave 1 inch out for all the extra paparazzi, just for allowance purposes. 1 inch out before I start. Okay, so the length of the dress is 55. 55 minus half length, which is 16. 55 minus half length will give us 39. So the length of this lower part is 39. So the inner, we are going to be making 39 minus 3 inches. You can also do 39 minus 2 inches. It depends on how high or how low you want the lining to be. I want the lining to go all the way down. So I'm going to be doing 39 minus 3 inches. So we'll be getting 39 minus 3, that's 36. So your measurement starts from the middle. Your measurement starts from the middle, not the edge. Because you have your zip allowance, every other measurement comes here so that we can cut these four out. This is the back, this is the back, okay, and this is the front, back, the front. So this two is front and this two is the back. Please do not make that mistake. So your measurements, all measurements starts from the middle. I'm saying this because of you. I'm repeating from the middle. This is very easy. So that way you can cut your clothes at the same time. The waist is 28. 28 divided by 4 is what? 7. Plus 1 inch for that 8. Plus another 1.5 inches. Why I'm doing 1.5 is because this thing is lace. We'll first use half inch to join this and the lace, like turn it over, and then 1 inch for the sewing allowance. Okay, so we have 8. 8 plus 1.5 is 9.5 inches. Good. So that way you won't have excess, too much allowance. So from your waist, you come down vertically by what? 10 inches. Normally it is 9, but by the time we are done with whatever we want to remove here, we're going to be removing up to 1 inch, so it comes back to 9. Yeah, 10. Then from your waist all the way to your knee, for size, for this length that we're doing, is what? 19. So this is just on top of the knee. This 19 is just on top of the knee, and then the full length we are looking for is 36. Remember, 36. Okay, 36. So we're going to add 1 inch for folding allowance. 1 inch folding allowance, which will give us 37. Let me rule everything out. So this is your hip line, knee. This is just on top of the knee, not on the knee directly, on top of the knee. And this is what? Length. This is actually length, and this is the allowance for folding. Very good. We move on to the horizontal measurements. So we've gotten the waist, which is 7 plus all the extra allowance. Then we go to the hip. The hip is what? 38 divided by 4, 9.5, right? Plus 1.5 inch sewing allowance. Let's do plus 2 inches sewing allowance, 11.5. I'm doing 2 inches just so that everything will rhyme. So this hip minus 1 inch is what will give us this knee measurement. Hip minus 1 inch. So for the hip we got 11.5. Here we're what? 10.5. And then for the length, we will minus it by what? Hip minus 1.5 inch. By doing a pencil dress, remember, hip minus 1.5. We already have 1 here, and then so it gives us what? 10 inches. Good. So you mark, because this is the folding, you mark it straight, or it will, in fact, it should come out a little, like half inch. Come out like half inch. So I'm just going to go with my free hand.
Remember, it's a pencil scale to shape it all the way down. Okay, so this is the half-inch allowance. I'm saying you come out a little, so that when you fold it up, it will balance with this side. Okay, and
This with this,
so this is the
part
skirt,
here,
and this is the zip allowance. I hope this is very clear.
Remember, we have half inch out here also for all the joining, and then that by the time we are done, we might be removing a lot. Okay, so we cut out our pattern. Next thing to do is to sew it round like this. You can see we're not sewing. Sew it round. Okay, and then you turn it over. Then you turn it over. So after sewing, like you sew, so you turn it over and then you press it, iron it. Do the same thing for the front, and then we'll move on to do the same turning for the upper part of your body. When you're done turning the upper part of your body, you bring it together, and then remember you've joined the lower part, added your dart. Then from your
midpoint, that's the zip line of the back, remove 0.7 inches, and for the upper part remove 0.7 inches upward also at your zip line. That way you avoid every kind of bulging on your dress, on the zip line of your dress. Okay, then you proceed to joining them together.
So when you have shaped it out like this is the back, this is the back, and this is the front. Okay, so let's get the perfect shaping of the front. The arm length is 16. We'll be leaving half inch for sewing. Half length 16, half inch for sewing. Half inch is the sewing allowance. As you can see, we've already trimmed that out. So from what you can see, we've already done that. This is the back. This is the what inside to inside. If you are using front to draw out this, use front to front. It has to be on the same side. So place it on your skirt like this, like this. Remember, we added all the extra allowances. Simply draw the line out. Okay, so this is what we have. This is what we have after drawing out the lines. Leave a half inch allowance for joining. So as you can see, I'm leaving the allowance I'll leave for joining. I don't use up to half inch. So I'm just going to leave what I use for joining. Make sure it is not touching underneath. So you don't give yourself stories that touch. Next thing we'll be doing is to join this. Can you see? We'll be joining this and this together.
Okay, so as we all know, we fold the fabric into four. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, so the easiest way to get your sleeve is to take from the top right here. You measure 4 inches down. Okay, let me use this blue chalk. 4 inches down. Okay, so let's say our armhole is 20. Okay, so we're going to be getting 10. 10. Remember, you can always shape this out when you're joining. Okay, you come down by 4 inches, 10. Divide it by 2, 5, right? On this 5, come down by 2 inches. Okay, so join them together. The length of our sleeve is 20. So for the joining up, half inch, and the joining to our flare, half inch. So that'll give us 21. 21. Good. Round sleeve. When you're measuring your round sleeve for this part, if it's not something that has zip, always check from this end because it needs to enter the person's palm, just like this. So this is what you're measuring for this. Except the fabric is stretchy. Except you're working with a stretchy fabric. If not, it will be so difficult for it to enter and the person will be complaining all the time. So for instance, this is 9 inches. Divide it by 2. Divide it by what? 2, because this is unfold. We have 4.5. Add half an inch for sewing. We have 5.
Then trace it out from the armhole to the round sleeve. Now we are done with our dress. It's time to attach the applique. I used my candle gun and then it's very strong. This is the result of the dress. Do well to give me a thumbs up if you like this video. Do well to subscribe and turn on my post notification. Bye. See you in my next video.